Good night, Mr. Salaria. Good night, Board of Directors. My name is Juan Vera, and I'm an advisor for Chinalco Peru. Today, I will be talking about the opportunity business between Chinalco Peru and Glenwood Laboratories in the actual situation and its key points. A small summary of the case is that the Canada-United States trade war nowadays still has repercussions. Aluminum derivative products such as oxygen tank cylinders have lowered a lot their prices, and this is bad for companies like Glenwood Laboratories Canada, which has these oxygen tanks as key products. So this has caused the company to search for various solutions and consider the search of new suppliers as an option. On the other hand, the COVID-19 context we're living today and the situation of the industry have made Chinalco Peru think that there are these causes that may present the acquisition of new buyers as more timely for the proper functioning of the company. The main participants in this case will be Chinalco Peru, which is a subsidiary of the Aluminum Corporation of China, or Chinalco, and Glenwood Laboratories Canada Ltd., which is a medical supply company that sells to customers in Canada. There are four different risks that will be the transport risk because of international transport and a greater risk compared to the sales within national market, and plus the COVID-19 context. So to mitigate this risk, it's advisable to know and understand the legal rights with the carriers and follow the sanity and control measures. The exchange rate fluctuations is another risk that basically means that one party can benefit at the cost of the other. So if the payment is established in a particular currency. So to mitigate the risk, it is advisable to establish the payment in a stable and commonly used currency like the dollar. The third risk will be an unforeseen event like the COVID-19 is. Some unexpected events can make a delivery impossible or alter the cost of transportation. One way to prepare for these cases like COVID-19 is to have a well-drafted contractual force majeure provisions, and in this case to follow every standard petition, specification, and sanitary procedure. The fourth risk would be the investment risk, which means that there is always a risk that at any time a market can collapse or worsen. Um, Also in international trade, this is a greater risk than just national. And a well-thought strategy for the investment is a way of taking precautions on this one. About the production focus, despite the fact that Glenwood Laboratories could only be interested in the aluminum Chinalco Peru can produce, there is no reason to stop the copper production, so it should be remain focused on both copper and aluminum, especially when the company's income in Peru is mainly from these two minerals, having Proyecto Toromocho in the country since 2015, a rise in demand of diverse medical supplies that contain aluminum because of the pandemic, and the fact that the aluminum price has lowered a lot by 19.8% by May 2020. So just focusing on the production of aluminum would not be as productive or efficient than the production of both copper and aluminum. The possible finances there are a medium-term loan and line of credit, which will be the one that we will be using because it allows them more money to the business and it has a relatively slow repayment of the debt. Also, I will explain the reasons to use dimension in financing according to the 5 C's of creditworthiness. The first C is capacity, and Chinalco is a company with a good history of income through the last 4 years, being always positive. But for the character, well, the company pays its bill on times and is considered trustworthy and reliable, so it has a good reputation. For the capital, it can maintain a sufficient public flow and fulfill the requirement of the rules of the Stock Exchange of Hong Kong Limited. For collateral, the company presents various assets as collateral against certain security loans and conditions. The company has pledged that borrowing and banks may go for property, plant, and equipment. Between local and foreign financing, local financing will be the best option because of reduction of the risk, a better debt management, it's more suitable because of the flexibility of the form of payment, and also the company does have experience working with local financing rates and taxes. The possible means of payment there are the documentary collections, an open account, and a letter of credit, which is the one that we will be using. It's a bank letter that guarantees the buyer's payment will be delivered to the seller on time on the correct amount. Some of the process and document required for this are commercial invoice, bill of lading, packing list, certificate of origin, between others. So a cost for the letter of credit, like from BBVA, a letter of credit from BBVA would be about $2,019 from general cost. The application of the letter of credit for BBVA Continental, for example, would be filled with some general information and signed by Chinalco's Peru CFO, Augusto Saldarriaga. Also, the SWIFT message for this letter of credit would be fulfilled with general information too from the company, from both companies. And so conclusions for this are that the current context of COVID-19 has affected the world on a large scale. So business opportunities like the one presented here are quite useful for companies that have been affected by this pandemic. Also, there are some factors that can increase the business success potential, like Glenwood looking for new suppliers, the adequate and successful background of Chinalco company, and an FTA between Peru and Canada. Some recommendations are that the market can be analyzed again in search of other potential clients or some different sort of type of business opportunity that COVID-19 is making today. Because of COVID-19, there could be some business opportunities, and also an appropriate and strategic approach to Glenwood Laboratories can make the difference for a successful negotiation and to the beginning of reliable and good faith-based business relationship. Thanks.